This is Anything Goes. I believe this is Cole Porter Tune of the Week number 27, if I'm not mistaken. This is not very often that you play this in the jazz world. It's more of a musical tune, but I don't know why. It's a good one. So we shall play it in three different ways. First, the way I think you would most likely play it, like normal jazz changes, which are not always, as we shall see, the same as the original changes from the musical. Then we shall play it in more of a musical style. I found this karaoke kind of thing online that is kind of fun to play along with the verse and everything. And then we shall also play it in a more modern style, like Brad Meldal plays it. So to give us kind of three different perspectives of the same tune and how you can take a tune like this and play it in different ways. But first off, let's just look at the kind of most normal changes. There are two variations. You shall see some of the variations on top in iReal Pro. I'll put the iReal Pro changes on the screen, but I'm playing the bottom set of changes. So grab your coffee and your guitar. As always, we'll play the melody together, and then I'll play solo and you come for me, and then we'll trade choruses, and then we'll play the melody on the way out. See if you can remember, try to play the melody by ear. If you can't do it, just try, and then maybe a week from now, try again. See if eventually you will learn the melody from memory. So here goes, Anything Goes. Your solo, right? now let's play the melody together, if you can. So some people are kind of complaining that how am I supposed to know the melody after just one hearing? Well, remember, you can always come back to this video. That's why I make these videos, so you can come back to them. If you want to learn a tune from memory, you try, and then you try the next week and then the week following, and then until you eventually you will learn a tune. I don't expect you to learn it right away. That's not why I'm doing that. So these tunes are kind of funny. The lyrics are, in the olden days a glimpse of stalking was looked on as something shocking. Now heaven knows anything goes. So it's a good idea to have an idea of what these lyrics are about when you don't, as I've said before, you can't learn the lyric to every jazz standard, but you should at least know what the tune is about, right? Like, it's kind of weird if you think about it, like all these jazz students that learn all these tunes, and if you would ask them what are the lyrics, and they would have no idea. That's kind of weird if you think about it, right? Like, you don't really know the tune. You don't know where it's coming from, what it's about. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm kind of digging a little bit deeper. I'm not out to become an expert scholar on Cole Porter, but I want to know about his music a little bit more than most jazz guitar players do, I guess. In the spirit of that, let's try to play it in the old kind of Tin Pan Alley. I'm not sure if that's the right, you Americans let me know if it's a Tin Pan Alley kind of genre, but in the old musical kind of style. So I found this funny backing track, so we can play with the verse and everything, and this stuff is on my Patreon page if you want the notations. It's gonna be in a different key. Let's just try and see what happens. Yeah, so it feels kind of funny to play along with this. It feels like I should be ordering an old drink from a speakeasy, like a, I don't know, like a old-fashioned. Yeah, it gives you a better understanding of the jazz if you listen to this kind of stuff. I mean, this was a karaoke. You should listen to the old-time recordings of these tunes. And I forgot to mention the chords there we were playing earlier. We were just playing C6, right, for 3 bars. So some people play the chords that were above there in the iRead Pro chart, and instead of the F6 B flat, it could be D minor G C. but you have to play kind of a sus chord because of the C note. Anything goes, right? I think the original changes are F6, F minor, which is kind of the same as B flat. F minor and B flat are kind of related, but the B flat gives you better bass motion, I think. So those are some chords. You could either just play C6, which would give you a more old-timey feel, right? Or this is more a little bit more modern feel. But speaking of that, we'll try to do what Brad Mehldau does. I can't play the recording, but it's easy to find if you're on your streaming service. Just Brad Mehldau playing Anything Goes. He plays it in 5. So in iReal Pro you can do that. You can change the setting. I recommend before you do it, you use the function duplicate, so you keep the original version. So I did that. I got another version of, and then I just changed the time signature to 5/4. It doesn't always work depending on what kind of setting you're using, the groove or the background. And also I think depending on how many bars per measure, it's not gonna always work. But this works. So why do we do this? Yeah, let's just try it and see what happens. Turn off the keyboard. So that's not even close to what Brad Mehldau Trio is doing, but a couple of things happening when you do that. You notice that you really need to know the tune. So, because if you're gonna be able to stretch the melody and do things with the melody in order to fit into this new time signature, you really need to know the melody. So it kind of shows you how well you know the tune. And also it's good to practice in 5/4 because your licks don't work, right? Your normal licks. Now, when I'm using the iReal Pro, of course, it's pretty easy actually to play in odd time signatures with such a solid background. What happens to a lot of us, I think, is we do that. We practice with backing tracks, whatever, and then we go play with real musicians. Maybe they are more advanced than we are, and we try to play it all the time, and the drummer would be maybe messing with the time, right? Maybe putting a cymbal on beat 4, and all of a sudden we're like, whoa, where did the time go? So you need to practice in other ways, and I recommend using a metronome, and instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here's a little tip. You put it on 2 and 4. So 2 clicks. This is 50 beats per minute. So it's like 4, 5, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to think about it like that, it's on the 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. That's a better way to practice 5. So see how these tunes can open up the door to different ways of practicing the tunes. So yeah, that was Anything Goes with Cole Porter, and next week there will be another Cole Porter tune of the week, but that will be a Patreon exclusive, so every other week it's on YouTube, and every other week it's Patreon exclusive. So a huge thank you to my Patreons, and with all that, I shall thank you and for your time and attention, and I shall see you next time.